to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from here, and this has been like a therapy session.
Andrew McCART, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. I'm with the man himself, Sonny Edwards. Sonny, it's been a while. I think it might have been March when you fought with Seamus last time I saw you, man. So, how's things?
Yeah, really good. Really good. A couple of days away from fight night now, here at the press conference, all suited and booted.
Let me get one pan down, look at this.
No, get the Gucci's in. Get the Gucci's in.
I'll get it. Yeah.
But now, in all seriousness, the public workout was a great turnout. It was good to see a lot of familiar faces I've known for a few years, and it's good. There's a little buzz for this show in Sheffield. I think everyone's going to be a bit surprised about how well it's done. I'm not even from Sheffield, so to sort of build like an organic, homegrown support here. I mean, I sold over 400 or 500 tickets myself. Do you know what I mean? And I've never done that in London, so yeah, I guess it's going to be my new base for when I fight. And yeah, looking forward to it. I keep repeating myself. There isn't much to say at this point. It gets annoying, especially when, there's no talking points because Felix Alvarado doesn't speak English. Big puncher, we know that. He's going to come take the world title. Yada, yada, yada. But I think it's a good card, genuinely. I had input in the fights that went on it. That was important to me, being in the position I am and sort of wanting to bring the fight to the city. Jack Bates and Shabazz, I was very keen to get on. I think that's a great fight, genuine 50-50 fight. Two lads that I like and respect as well. I've known Jack a long time. That was the original rival story for my brother. It was him and Jack Bateson, all sort of through GB's times. Yeah. And it's funny how he probably thought I was a proper little prick all them years ago. Just Charlie Edwards' little mouthy brother, but now we're good friends. We're sparring partners even, and yeah, it's to share a bill with him and Shabazz, who I've met more through the pros and spent out time with out in Dubai and obviously all at the other shows. That's a great fight. Having Herbert come and see Al as well, I think that's a massive coup for the show. I think he's generally going to be one of the bigger names in world boxing in a matter of a couple of years. As soon as he gets going, I think he's so talented. He pretty much won the gold medal standing on his head. It weren't really he's so phenomenally talented. So. Yeah, and then obviously come down to, my favourite fighter in the world, Thomas Asomba, fighting Marcel Braithwaite, two of my old opponents, fighting for a chance to win my old title. Great to get him on the show. Marcel looks in good shape. He looks switched on. I don't know how confident they are, but I don't know how many options they had outside of this. So, yeah, I'm really confident for Thomas Asomba to be on a lot of people's mouths after this, because I think you'll see the difference of a fighter that spent 10 years being a journeyman, no one really giving him that little bit of love, that bit of attention. Now he's in the home corner. Do you know what I mean? He's had long run-ups, and he's been training alongside me and alongside of the rest of the lads at the Steel City with Pierce Goodjohn, his full-time trainer. He hasn't had that as a pro. I know people that don't really care for the backstories, especially when it's not one of the big names, but he's had it really hard. I mean, he defaulted from the Olympic Village 10 years ago. Then he's been sort of passed for gyms. Certain gyms turned it around and said, we can't really do nothing with you because they just didn't have time for him when he's not bringing in money or hasn't got the belief or support system. But now I think you're going to see a real big change. He's boxing at the right weight, where usually he's fighting at super bantam at a week's notice, 2 weeks' notice, and I think you're going to see a phenomenal performance. I feel sorry for Marcel, if I'm honest. I genuinely do. Genuinely.
We'll come on to that fight, but we'll stick with you and Felix Alvarado. You mentioned he's a big puncher, but I think he's had something like 30 plus knockouts and 30 something fights, more knockouts than you've had professional fights. I know you've probably been in this situation before, been asked this question numerous times with some of your opponents, but we've seen these South Americans, these Mexicans, they come over here, they're not here to just pick up a paycheck, they actually come here to fight, and he's going to be gunning for you, Charlie, since you do hold, Sonny, since you do hold that. No, that's not happening in a while, but that's just me, because you mentioned your brother there. Yeah, so he's going to be coming gunning for you. You hold that world title, it's been with you for a long time. What are you expecting from Alvarado? Have you seen much?
Yeah, he starts very fast. From round one, he's trying to knock holes in you. But I feel like he slows down in the stretch. It's my job to get up, get ahead, keep him at bay, keep his drive down, get him tired, and then take him apart. That's genuinely what I think I'm going to do. that no one cares about this next one I'm about to say, but yeah, camp's genuinely gone the best it's ever gone. Genuinely, I think you can see by the shape I'm in, you can see by the amount of water I'm drinking, the food I'm eating on fight week. I'm in a great position. I woke up 0.6 overweight. I could genuinely make light flyweight by tomorrow, genuinely, and that might be an option after this, especially if all the flyweights champions are scared. But yeah, I can't look past Felix Alvarado. He's a legit dangerous fighter, but you know, all them knockouts mean for nothing because he's had people that have not been knocked out by him, and I've never been knocked out. I've never been remotely close to being knocked out. If anything, I'm probably one of the hardest fighters to knock out in world boxing. So it just all that doesn't faze me. A big puncher, I relish a big puncher because they're used to boxing going a certain way. So 6 rounds when it's not gone a certain way. I think 30 of his fights have ended within 6 rounds. So you know, in the 7th, 8th, and 9th round when he's down, and my engine's ticking over and keep going and going and going, and I've got the answers that for the questions that he's posing, then yeah, I'm not worried one bit, one iota, to be honest.
You've been vocal on the Julio Cesar Martinez fight, man. He's obviously coming off a loss, and I mean, it's a tough division you're in with some quality fighters in this flyweight division. What's the goal for you? Is it chasing that Martinez fight again, or is it to unify this division, to get more belts under you?
Martinez really isn't in my thought process right now. I don't and I won't let fighters stall me. He's successfully stalled me for 7 weeks because I thought the fight was made. We'd agreed terms, we'd agreed everything. I said yes to everything they asked me. All I asked was a 20-foot ring, and that's all I asked for. And he's not really in my thinking right now. Bam Rodriguez is a bigger name than him, a bigger fight than him, and seeming like a willing opposition. He mentioned he's got a WBO world title fight that Junto Nakatani is vacated. I don't even know who he's fighting for it. Albeit he comes through that as expected. He said he wants to fight me, so I'm there. I mean, I would advise him to not start negotiating with Martinez because, you know, you might get 6-7 weeks into camp paying sparring partners, paying nutritionists, strength coaches, flying to different countries to stay with your coaching setup. And then all of a sudden they decide that they want £1 million to fight you and disappear off into the sunset when DAZN say no. And now he's looking for an opponent still, so who knows? Beat Felix Alvarado on Friday. As long as I'm in decent shape, they might be able to get me on the last minute thing. But I want double the money that I accepted before. I know that.
And who's that a message to? Eddie Hearn, or who is that a message to?
Oh, let's see how I get out of the ring Friday first. You know what I mean? I've still got to do that. I might have bad hands, I might have a bad head, I might have a bad heart. Who knows?
You are hard to hit.
Very, very extremely hard. Probably the hardest when I want to be. And what I love about fighting someone that's ridiculously powerful is I find myself getting into that zen of really not being hit extra. And I want people to start counting my shots that I actually do get landed with a round, because I saw all of them putting in the best defensive CompuBox 1 to 10. I've held fighters to less than 30 shots in 10 rounds, and I held Maruti, a flyweight who threw a ridiculous amount of shots, to 90 shots in 12 rounds, and that was the most I've ever been caught. So I would love to know where I genuinely fall on the getting hit per round, because it's probably about 2, 3, 4 shots most rounds, if that, to be honest. Like clean shots, probably less than that.
Now, you are the king of Twitter. You're the champion of the world, but you're probably champion of Twitter. I've seen a couple of recently through Geordie's interview with Tyson Fury, and then obviously there's comments about Islam and on being Muslims and whatnot. You had a little bit to say on Twitter. A couple of days later, man, what else you got to say on it?
Do you know what it is, right? People saying, oh, look at him mentioning True Geordie for clout. It's like, I'm getting asked these questions by you, the other channel before that, and the other channel before that. I made comment on it because I have a lot of Muslim friends. Me, I don't align or associate to one religion or faith. I don't. I feel like there's too many questions that need answering in my head before I can start, you know, picking and choosing what I genuinely believe in. I was raised in an atheist household with no belief, so it's a hard pill to swallow. But I've always been observant. I've always been mindful and, you know, aware of the religions going on around me and the people. And I've got a lot, and I mean a lot, of Muslim friends, like a lot. So when I see someone saying that in order for a revert to claim or prove his faith, he must blow himself up, just completely disrespecting, causing division. Like it's like they're very powerful words that he's saying because of, you know, what he's implying. Basically he said something along the lines of, in order for Andrew Tate to prove himself a Muslim, he must become a terrorist bomber because that's what Muslims are. What? That doesn't make sense. And that's not the isolated time he's done that. He was still saying stuff like, oh, are you a fully blown Muslim? Ha ha ha. Like, just very like slapstick racial comedy. And yeah, I understand the people saying, well, you're saying him get cancelled. I don't care for cancel culture. I think everyone knows that. I was simply highlighting that I could name 3, 4, 5, 6 personalities of the last year, less than that, 6 months, less than that, 3 months, that have been cancelled for words against certain...
Unless.
Exactly. You know, there's a lot of groups of people that you can't speak about in a way, but why is it that Islam can be under attack from, you know, someone with such a massive influence and population of you know, viewership, and then he's still got his channel to upload his apology on? I know people that have made comments about their personal experiences with demographics of people, and then they've been completely stricken off the internet, social medias, by a click of a button, a flick of a switch. So I'm just scratching my head as a small cog in all of this. I doesn't really understand why that is. So that's why I said about cancelling. Why is he not being cancelled? What is the difference between him being cancelled and, say, all these other people that get cancelled? I don't know. Maybe we need to ask other people. One thing I will say, though, he needs to be very mindful, because he's apologising with a very non-heartfelt apology. He still monetised the video to make profit on it, telling people to like and subscribe his stuff. He even repetitively repeated the offensive words that he used to offend. I don't know, it just seems really like insincere when he's talking about someone's faith and newfound faith and religion as insincere. It just seems a very weird way of doing it. I don't know. Hopefully that, you know, this doesn't spiral out to anything more, but I'm sure he's antagonized and offended billions of people, literally. So yeah, how that story ends up, I don't know, but yeah, that's the only reason I mentioned it, because people ask me about it. And like I said, I've got a lot of Muslim friends. I've got a couple of people that work for me and they're all Muslims. Most of the people I class as family. There'll be a lot of people that have bought tickets traveling from other countries that are Muslims. So like, yeah, okay, I might not be Muslim, but I have like people that get offended by it around me, so I can feel the offence. And not only that, it's more of a whole, we are human, we are people, regardless of religion. I don't look at that. I'll look at people that are good to me, and I'll be trying good to them in likewise. So to be of someone like True Geordie in such a position of influence, and to make these divisive comedic jokes that brand all Muslims terrorists, I think it's disgusting when we live in a world right now where the sort of the lower echelons, the worker ants, the me, you and everybody here and everybody in this shopping centre and everybody that we actually will see interact with, that level of human, not the elites. Like, we do not need to be divided by anything more. We do not need to be reminded of our differences any more than the media and the infrastructure already remind us. That's genuinely what I believe. Maybe I'm a conspiracy theorist, maybe I'm a tin hat loon, whatever, how you ever want to put it, but I genuinely don't like the way that humans interact with each other on the whole in this day and age. Everyone's trying to be horrible to each other. Everyone's trying to pick reasons why they're different or why they can't fit in or shouldn't fit in, or do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, I've just gone off a mad tangent there, but yeah, that's generally my belief set. I think us level, the ground level humans that actually exist in the real world, we should all get on. We shouldn't have that division, and it doesn't help with someone with millions of subscribers, millions of followers, basically branding all Muslims terrorists. I think that's ridiculous. When there has been terrorists, freedom fighters, and I'm not even defending that section of things. Obviously, I'm not. But there's been terrorists from all the different races and religions and things. But it's just in this modern day era, it's sort of assigned to one demographic. When it's just and if you speak to most Muslims anyway, they're completely against the whole idea of terrorism. They're against the whole idea of anything remotely related to someone's loss of life or causing pain or anyone. So that's the people I know. Obviously, you might get some extremist groups, but you'll get extreme everywhere, because unfortunately, of humans, people can be corrupted, people can be manipulated, people can be brainwashed. Like, that is what it is. But yeah, I don't think it's necessary in this day and age.
Well said, Sonny. We'll leave it at that then. But back to you. I mean, it's a busy weekend for your gym with Dalton fighting on the Saturday night as well. So Grant's got a busy a busy week ahead of him with you over in Sheffield and Dalton out in Manchester. So just talk to me about the gym, man. It seems like the gym's absolutely buzzing and it's flying.
Yeah, like we are, like top to bottom. You obviously got me sort of leading the charge with the world titles concerned, but you've got Dalton headline Sheffield Arena, and now he's over on Sky for this fight in Manchester. We've got Florian Marku, headlined Albania. Junaid Boston now signed with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. Nico Leveas, massive ticket seller. GB lad, real good fight with a whole town behind him. Carl Yousaf was meant to be on this show, suffered an illness as everyone's getting ill at these times, so unfortunately not in. Thomas Asomba about to take the super flyweight and win the British title in the first half of next year in my eyes. Hopefully I don't miss no one out. I don't think I've missed anyone out. Yeah, there's a few things and a few names that I might. I'll let John's looking really good in the gym, but I think he's just trying to work out some things behind the scenes. I don't really know what's going on there, so I don't really want to speak on it. Yeah, and I don't think there's anyone else. There might be someone else. The whole bunch of lads. I'll have to go for the group chat, but everyone in the gym is flying, and there's even some amateurs coming through, some ones that will be turning pro in the next couple of years that will be, even more of the sort of conveyor belt that we've been churning out. Because you've got to remember, 3 of the names I mentioned there, me, Dalton and Junaid. Dalton's been a lifetime Steel City fighter. Me and Junaid have been there over 8 years. I did 2 amateur seasons there and done pretty much my whole pro career. So Junaid joined in the same month as me since he was about 12, 13, and he came as like an 11-4 fighter or something. Within a year he's winning national titles, and now he's turned into the fighter he's turned into. So it's genuinely a conveyor belt of excellence down there, I believe. And I think, past this generation of Grant having it, you've got Piers Goodjohn, Thomas's coach, who's coming through, and then you'll have me slipping in there and helping out, and then coming into a full-time trainer, because that's my goal after boxing. I don't want to leave boxing, so there is no after boxing for me. It's as long as I can perform for, and then everything else. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at with it.
Well, I'm getting my pro licence, Sonny. Believe it or not, I've got a young fighter. Well, I'll show you him on my Instagram. He's a good fighter, but I'll show you him off camera. But yeah, one final word on Alvarado. Why should people tune into Babellum Fight TV actually to watch you against a big hitting South American in Alvarado?
Do you know why? Because I think it's one of the better cards that we've had so far this year. Outside of obviously got the big names and the mega stars, this isn't that card. What it is though is there's at least 3-4 genuine 50-50 fights, real interesting fights as well. Some good showcase of some elite talent and some local lads that are really pushing on and deserve the platform. So I think it's a good balance top to bottom. It's sold well. There's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of buzz for the show. And yeah, obviously I'll be doing my thing again, so hopefully it's the same as the last 18 fights, which have all pretty much kind of looked the same, and hopefully this one looks the same too.
I'll win for Sonny.
Oh, unanimous decision. Sonny is a banker, innit? It has been for the last 8 fights.
There you go. If you're a betting man, that's what to put it on. This is Sonny. The press conference is about to start, so I'll let you get ready in the suit. Love it. You're looking suave, so enjoy it, and I'll speak to you soon.
Yeah, I can't live in a tracksuit every day of the week,
Exactly,
can I?
like me. Cheers, Sonny.
I'm going to share something with you that might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from it, and this has been like a therapy session.